You have cred out here, right?
I got street cred. I got people on the street just yelling at me.
Okay, go ahead.
Sure. Today the City Council authorized Mayor Greg Nichols to sign an intergovernmental agreement with the state of Washington committing Seattle to the tunnel plan. I disagree with the decision. I disagree with the timing of the decision. But the reality is Mayor Nichols and the council have entered into an agreement, and the city's now committed to the tunnel plan. If I'm elected mayor, although I disagree with the decision, it will be my job to uphold and execute the agreement. It's not the mayor's job to withhold the cooperation of city government in executing the agreement. I will, however, continue to ask tough questions. We don't know how much it's actually going to cost. If it ends up costing more than the current budget allows, there's a serious disagreement between Seattle and the state over who will pay cost overruns. And where will the money come from, and who will bear the burden? Will we have to cut police, fire, library, services to those in need? I will not stop asking the tough questions, nor will I stop standing up for Seattle's values. I'm worried that the people that want the tunnel have a champagne appetite, and we have a beer budget. The question is, who's going to end up paying the tab on this tunnel? There's a clear choice in this election. My opponent has refused to ask or answer any hard questions about the tunnel. In fact, when asked about the legislature passing the cost overrun amendment, he said, if I were mayor, rather than taking pot shots at Democratic leadership who put that amendment on, I'd express disappointment and say, okay, we can live with this. Seattle cannot live with paying cost overruns on this tunnel.
Is it true that Seattle would be obligated to cost overruns? Your opponent, I think, intimated that it was something that the state would have to negotiate with the contractor.
Current state law provides that Seattle will have to pay all cost overruns on that tunnel.
Aren't there incentives, though, to make sure that it comes in on time and on budget?
Sightline just recently committed a report. The Sightline Institute, located here in Seattle, just completed a report on cost overruns on tunnels that have been done just in the state of Washington. Cost overruns are 50% or more. On a tunnel like this, $4.2 billion, we'll be talking about $2 billion worth of cost overruns. That's twice the size of our city's general fund budget in a year. So the history of tunnels in Seattle is that there are significant cost overruns.
So if you were elected mayor, you would support this decision by the city council and hold your nose while you're doing it? Or would you do it, or would you do something else to undo it?
As I said, I'm going to keep asking the tough questions. How much is it going to cost? How are we going to pay for cost overruns? But there is a 9-0 vote from the council and the mayor agreeing that we need to proceed, and it's the job of the mayor to honor the commitments that our city council has made.